I'm live. I'm live. What's up, guys? How are you? Big Bills win today. Big win for the opener. Sorry, my camera's all like disheveled and I look like shit as I usually do. Ramius is asleep, but the Bills took us to the brink as usual. Couldn't let us have a nice, enjoyable, relaxing, what's up, Eric, Sunday. They just have to do it to us in this fashion if they are to win. It doesn't. I even asked somebody today. It's like, when's the last time we just chilled? When's the last time we just was cruising in a victory? It was nice, free, and easy, similar to what the Ravens have had in the last two openers. One against the Bills, another one against the Miami Dolphins. That's a whole nother issue right there. But my God, what an insane game down in Miami for them. But Bills, the game, we all saw it. But just to rehash it just for a second, they come out off the rip. Pass. It's like nothing modern day Bills fans have ever seen. Like guys like you, Eric. And it's moving. They're going. Boom. They get what, around the Jets 32, 33, and then Josh, he gets a little loose with the football. He got a loose with that one is on him. I have to say he's got to tuck that away there and just eat that sack and say, you know what, fuck it. I can't. It's kind of partially what makes him special and what makes him frustrating is that he can't make a play out of everything. And that time he just needs to, what's up, Damager? He just needs to tuck that ball away and eat it. And he didn't eat it. And it didn't look good, but I thought his passes were crisp. I thought he was in rhythm. They were moving the ball. It just kept, what's up, Matthew? And they were moving the ball and they just couldn't finish anything. They couldn't even stabilize anything within, let's just say, the 35 to just get a field goal. Like the one time I think didn't they pass up a field goal at one point? I like with the fourth down, they went for it on fourth down. It would have been a long field goal. It would have about a 55-yarder or whatever like that. And then that was that botched snap. But the one interception, I'll say the two. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? The two interceptions, those are freak plays, man. Those are freak plays. The two passes that should have been, that I would consider, oh my God, not good, are both to May. One gets called back on the defensive holding. The other one, he threw it while he was going down, and May just knocked it out of bounds. But even then, I see tons of plays where quarterbacks, they test it. They're going to throw to 50-50. The one to Brown, that could have been picked. Brown crossed Roberts' face, caught the ball. Roberts is reaching for him, and Brown just runs into the end zone. It happens. But it's nice to have a quarterback that's willing to take those chances instead of just, sitting back there he's horrified to make a play or to make a mistake during the course of trying to make a play. So it was you know what? I don't fuck with Facebook, dude, because they live in fantasy land, and fantasy land isn't real football. They're too busy watching Mahomes thinking that is going to happen all the time, and that doesn't happen all the time, man. That's a special, rare case. There was a reason the guy was picked where he was, is because he was erratic and threw crazy shit. He had a chance to sit. Well, we all can rehash this, but it's about today's game today, so we're going to do this. But to be down 6-0 after 4 turnovers, I mean, in that fucking INT, I mean, come on. Beasley's got to either that hits the ground or that's in his hands. That was in his hands. And Beasley today, he was okay, but that one that Allen put over to him late in the game, he just dropped it over. Like there was like 2 or 3 defenders, and Allen put it right on the sidelines, the same place where Sweeney caught that pass, and he dropped it. It was right there to be had. Yeah, Gore's always been kind of like that. It didn't bother me too much, man. But Brown looked good today. I knew the shot play was going to be there at some point. I knew there was one point in the game. I'm like, at least one. I'm like, they have to test this team deep. they're eating them up. Like I felt Allen had a 64% completion percentage today. It wasn't great, but it wasn't wretched. It wasn't 52% completion. And again, the one scoop and score touchdown that was like a gift wrapped interception was it just right off Beasley's hands, right to Mosley. Mosley's there. The time fucking Milano, man, he's smells a bingo. Ball just tips right off his hands and right into a Jets lineman's hands. How about the one where Darnold was flushed out? He lofts it, and there's like 4 Bills around, but it just drops right into it, right to the ground. There was another tip pass that Poyer was driving on that he was out of position for, but it was right there to be had. You know, it was nuts. It was just a crazy way to win the game. And I was so glad that they didn't, the defense really, man, they hung them in this game. They hung them in this game. They kept them in this game. They got the 3 and outs when they needed to get the 3 and outs. I was really hoping for the turnover. That's the one thing I was hoping for that was turn this game. But they got the Bills back in the game. The field was flipped for most of the game. The safety. How many? That was I'll be fair. The refs were pretty even-handed today. I'm not going to bitch about the refs, but I felt like he got the ball out, and he got the ball out of the end zone. And so you could say how many and where I felt the Bills, my lowest point during the game, I think it was everybody's lowest point during the game. I'm going to speak for everybody on this, is the 2-point conversion. It's like, okay, the Bills are going to lose this game today. That was my lowest point of the game. Is like, okay, he scrambles around like Michael Vick from 05 Madden, fucking just throws it in the air, and there's Roddy White from 05 Madden to just catch it over everybody. And Saran Neal just looked lost. He didn't have the best game, but it just it was good prep for what they're going to see next week, and we'll get into that later. But this game today was crazy. It was a must win for me. The Bills had to go in and beat that team today. You can't allow that team with a shaky new situation, with a head coach, with a GM coming in late, draft picks getting cut, same draft class quarterback, all the permutations, all the talk that's going to follow if the Bills lose this game. You're 3 years into your program. You got to go out there and, irregardless of anything, you've got to come out with a fucking W. I don't care about hook, crook, ugly, beautiful. I don't care. You got to win. They went out and they won. They found a way. Huge team win. Allen came up big when big was required. It was rough on him early. The 2 things I'll put on him here is he did throw the ball away at one point. He got flushed out. He chucked it out of bounds. There's a couple of times he did that, but there's a few times it's like he has, man, I watched these guys play most of their career, these 2 guys, and he has so much Elway and Favre in him. It's crazy. It is insane. He's a lot more mobile than Favre was. Similar mobility, athleticism to Elway, maybe even on par. And it was, yeah, they would have smashed him. I felt like they gift wrapped 8 points. The 2-point conversion, that's a freak play. The safety's a freak play. The touchdown is a freak play. That's 10 right there. That's 10. Okay, so they went down and they scored. But even that drive, it gets extended by the Jordan Phillips roughing the passer call. He got to know better than that. If you wrap up these quarterbacks, even at the legs, they're gonna call it. But Allen, man, he looked in control. It didn't look like it was too big for him. And we haven't even mentioned this guy yet. Motor Singletary. The engine, the little engine that could and did. Man, that guy came in and changed the face of the game. Like when he started getting the ball in his hands and he was ripping stuff off. Like he got creases and that guy was exploding through those holes. He ran a what at the combine, a 4.5, whatever. and he was just ripping it through those holes. Had a night, yeah, 4-6, but he plays way faster than that, Victor. He plays way faster than that. And then but that Chris, that's not the Bills' concern, man. That's not the Bills' concern. He got injured. I mean, Josh Allen made the right read. You see a linebacker, I don't care who it is, and he's covering John Brown, you go for it. And he got injured trying to get down there, and he made the play, but he got hurt in the process. And if you look back on it in hindsight, that's one of the biggest plays in the game. I'm not going to sit there and cry tiddlywinks over another team's injuries, bro. That's their deal. That's not the Bills' concern to worry about, like silver linings, like, oh, if they fuck that shit. Nah. My biggest takeaways from this game was the way the defense kept the game winnable. Allen didn't go down the toilet in the second half after, just a crazy first half with the turnovers. He didn't turn over the ball in the second half. The safety happened. They got pinned back, and then the safety happens, and that just spirals everything down. And it just got, once they were able to move the ball, they got a field goal. Then they got the touchdown, which was huge. The one pass to Sweeney that he made was beautiful. That was a beautiful play. That was a beautiful throw. I mean, effortless throw on the run, just whipped it right in between two defenders on the sideline. It was nice. But it was, the takeaways is Allen going up against a division rival in their house, an opener, against a quarterback who was drafted ahead of him, that had a lot more fanfare, a lot more national media love, a lot more hype surrounding him in terms of even coming into this year. It's like the Jets are going to take the step because they have Sam Darnold, and Josh Allen is still an enigma. He's scattershot. He's inaccurate. He's this. He's that. What I saw today was a quarterback that has the ability to make big plays and make big game-changing plays, and is not just make them, he's willing to make them. Josh Allen's willing to make those plays, and I don't see a quarterback in Sam Darnold that can consistently make the plays or have the willingness to make the plays. He missed the deep throw to Anderson. He overshot him. Wallace was able to defend the one pass really nice. He just stuck his hand out, had no contact with him, which was huge. And he was a dink and dunk machine today. It was either to Bellamy or Bell. Bellamy, Bell. I'll put it to you like this. The Bills had 6 plays of 20 yards or more. Three were on the ground. Wait, 2 were on the ground. And, 3 might have been on the ground, actually. And then 3 through the air. The touchdown was definitely one of them, the one to Sweeney. And then there was another one, I believe, to Brown also. But those are chunk plays, man. Those are chunk plays that changes the game. That changes field position. That changes everything. And Allen, there is willing to make those plays, irregardless of interceptions or whatever, because those happen. And that's what you're going to hear about tomorrow. You're going to hear about when people talk about intercept. You know what? Don't be afraid of interceptions, guys. Go back and look at the statistics on Football Reference. Go back and look. Quarterbacks routinely threw 20 interceptions, 18, 19 interceptions. It happened because they tried to make plays down the field. There wasn't a lot of this mesh, Mills, day, concept shit going on now. It wasn't none of that. It was all shot plays, a lot of deep posts, skinny posts. That was the league. I'm not saying that's what the Bills are going to do, because they ran a lot of stuff, a lot more intricate routes than I've ever seen them run. They were really carving them up. Yeah, Poyer played well. Milano was a little shaky on Bell. Bell's a good player. Caracas, but it was tough, man. I was hoping they were going to put a corner on Bell, because I was like, dude, he's eating them up, man. But yeah, Allen was able to get it to get the win, and that's huge. He made the play. He played big. I tweeted it. Allen played big when big was required, and Darnold just, I don't know. I'm not saying this is who he is or it's an indictment on his career or anything like that, but I'm not sitting here as a Bills fan hoping Darnold turns out to be good. Fuck that. I want the Bills to be good. I want the Bills to have the best quarterback. I want the Bills to turn the page and win. That's what I want. Yeah, I don't doubt it, dude. I don't Bowman. I don't doubt it. There had to been if it was like there's like a 99%, but they didn't. They didn't win the game. They didn't lose the game, and they did nothing with it. They did nothing with those turnovers. Like literally, if they don't get the scoop interception, like the gift wrap interception by Mosley, the Bills get a feel. The Bills could have easily had 27, 30 points today. Easily. The way they were moving the ball. I thought Oliver played well, bro. Manzolo, I thought he played well. I don't know how he disrupted the pass on Darnold, but I don't know how he didn't sack him. I didn't know how he didn't sack him. Bills got a lot more pressure today. They got a lot more pressure in a lot more areas. They were blitzing guys from all different angles. They were overloads. They were blitzing safeties off the edge. I mean, Poyer came in screaming, got himself a sack. I was like kind of irritated that he didn't try to slap the ball out. I saw Jerry Hughes try to do that. Lorenzo got an a sack. So yeah, the pass rush looks a little bit more menacing than it did last year. It's valuable, man. It's not only Damager, it's valuable for his development, but it's huge. It's a huge win. How do you feel if you're the Jets? You're up 16-0 at home in the opener against a division opponent. That's a game that's worth 2 wins in the column, really. If you look at it, it's worth 2. It's a ×2 victory. And you go from you winning the game to and you lose it. You just lose it. You don't even turn the ball over. That's the thing. They didn't even have to turn the ball over. That's what I mean. It's like people they were throwing shade on Allen. You had a quarterback that got 4 turnover gifts, did nothing with them at home and lost. But Allen is the one who sucked. Allen was terrible. You had Francesa, Connor Rogers, and all these different guys. I'm like, did you watch the game? Or you just stat sheet scouting here? Did you watch the game? Yeah. How's Cleveland? I mean, Cleveland, they're the anointed ones, right? They're the media darling. Baker is just going to get all these shiny new toys, and it's away we go. It doesn't work like that. Past teams, Bills, I'll tell you this again, or I'll tell you this right now. Prior Bills teams wouldn't have been able to come back and win this game. Prior Bills teams wouldn't have had the mental strength to come back and win this game. They would have folded the tents. They would have tucked tail. They would have gotten and it would have gotten worse. They stuck it out. They hung together and they battled. Pokemon trainer Smoke was awesome. Smoke looked good. He's a guy they tried to get 2 years in a row, I believe, right? They tried to acquire him. Well, they definitely tried to acquire him last year, but I don't know about the prior year, but it seemed like his name was connected to the Bills quite a bit. And man, what a gamut of emotions today's game was. He had a great game. It's weird, right? You see a Bill. I mean, Allen didn't throw for 300 yards, but there was 300 yards there to be had. Jets dominant, had 5 more minutes time of possession. Bills had 360 yards of offense to the Jets 220. Oh God, it would have been over. Was saying it would have been over. EJ Manuel's the quarterback of that team today. It's over. But he's not the quarterback of the team. That's why he's on ACC Network and not in the league anymore. But it was man. If you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, I was just what a heart-wrenching roller coaster ride for your soul. And the Bill. I mean, I just want them to give us an easy week for once. The first drive, they were moving the ball. It was just free-flowing offense. It was boom, 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 boom. passes just everywhere, left and right. All the things we heard from all the pundits, the guys on GR, I love those guys, but still, they're going to run the ball. They're not going to dare let Josh Allen throw. They're not going to dare to do this. They'll never let it go. And he went out there and just threw it all over the place. And then they kind of balanced it out in the second half. They got Gore a little run. Every time Singletary touched the ball, it looked like he was making a big play, a huge play. And the offensive line, let me tell you something. Go see if you could find some stills. Somebody put up some stills on Twitter of the offensive line blocking on some of those runs and some of the times Josh Allen had to throw. It was that offensive line came in there and really, really put in some work. I give them a lot of credit. Nsekhe was rotating with Ford. Morris for having not played. And you know what? I give Morris a lot of credit. Coming off of a concussion scare like that, for his history, not having any reps with Josh Allen, he played really, really well. And I noticed he was making some of the calls, the protection calls up front, taking that off Josh Allen's plate. But Josh Allen, he was really making a lot of the other different types of adjustments. It was really impressive to watch. I mean, I don't ever remember a Bills quarterback doing all that kind of at the line of scrimmage type of stuff, pre-snap stuff. I can't remember a Bills quarterback doing all that kind of stuff. Maybe Fitz, but not even so much Fitz. Yeah, he was yeah, they were yeah, he's the kind of guy who's saying he gets like 7-8 yards a catch, but they're devastating catches. They either get you a 2nd and 2, or they'll get you a first down on a 3rd and 4. But I'm sorry, he knows he should have caught that pass. He should have caught that pass from Allen. And there was one pass in the sideline that was a little bit deeper. Probably would have been like a 20-yard play. I don't know if he got caught up in the sun or whatever, but he should have came down with that too. Not the kind of play he's normally used to making, but he should make that play. Yeah, he had the one thing by Williams, and Williams ended up leaving the game too. He was chasing Allen at some point, and I know he kind of gimped off and never came back in the game. And again, I'm not making any apologies for injuries for another team on Sunday, and it's already got me thinking about next week, because I turn over to watch the 4 o'clock on Fox, as we all did, Giants Cowboys, and boy, here again, 4 miles away from where I'm speaking in MetLife Stadium, where the Bills were today. They'll be back again next Sunday against that defense that they made Dak Prescott look like Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas, Joe Namath, John Elway, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning combined. That guy looked unstoppable. And that Giant defense is bad. It is B-A-D, bad. It is Swiss cheese. Hot knife through butter bad. And they gotta go out there I swear, I think we're gonna see the same type of game plan next week. We're gonna see Allen come out and say, you know what? We're gonna make these guys cover these receivers. We're gonna make these guys cover these receivers, and we're gonna see what they can do. Because Dak Prescott had 400 yards passing at the end of the third quarter. 400 yards at the end of the third quarter against that defense. Oh, they're wretched. Yeah, Jordan. Jordan Clark says, I really like what Josh did today. His pre-snap command was great. Sucks the flunky, unlucky turnovers, but, yeah, he's going to have his detractors, and he's always going to. There's never going to be people. I thought I saw Con Fahey tweeted something actually sort of non-biased against him. I think he tweeted that the first interception was on Beasley. It's like you're not. I mean, you had like I said, Francesa saying the Bills fans wishing that they still had Peterman, or you had Jason LaConfora, who's just looking at the stats and he's not watching the game, tweeting out, "Oh, Josh Allen looks rough." I'm like, are you watching the game? You're not watching the game. This is what I mean. A lot of these national people, and it's easy for us Bills fans to react and get hot. I don't know if he got pulled. Damager asked about Rosen getting pulled. Fitz was in. I think it was such a bad blowout down there. They just put Rosen in. They took out Lamar Jackson and put in RG3. RG3, when I saw his stat line, was like 6 for 6 with a touchdown. This Steelers defense is trash, man. Are you guys watching this game? This Steelers defense are just the Patriots bitches. They have no balls. They're frustrating, bro. Yeah, Eric, I was glad we were able to pull this out. How many of y'all thinking your week's gonna be fucked up around like 2 o'clock today, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard? How many of y'all thinking like, oh man, my fucking day's fucked up. My day is fucked up. My week is fucked up. Shit, I have to listen to all the naysayers talking shit about Allen, how he's terrible, how he's no good. And it sucks. I mean, how many times we got to sit here and, as Bills fans, take the abuse, the verbal abuse from everybody's like, oh, your quarterback shit. Oh, he's not going to be any good. He's inaccurate. And he came out there. He proved he was plenty accurate. He proved he had plenty of balls and plenty of playmaking ability, and it was great to watch. It was really great to watch. And I had a lot of confidence, to be honest with you, watching the game, that they were going to make the plays to eventually try to get them back in it and possibly win it. I just didn't know in what shape or fashion it was going to come until it finally came. But when he went deep to Brown on the left sideline, closest to the screen, I was like, and Brown was out of position when that ball was in the air, and he cuts in front of Darryl Roberts. He just cuts in front of him, catches the ball, and just runs into the end zone. And that's what I mean is, like, think about the touchdown pass on Thursday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers just lofts it up and gives his 6'6" tight end a 50-50 ball. That's what he did. There was 3 Bears defenders there. Deion Bush was all over him. It happens. Like, you give receivers chances, and some of those plays, they look crazy. Those passes, those windows are so thin. They don't look open to me. I don't know how they see them, but they do. Oh, Brady just got fucked up. Of course he bounces up again. Like, when this guy finally does retire, you're gonna hear about a laundry list of shit this guy was on. I'm telling you, it's gonna be epic. The laundry list of crap this guy was taking, and it doesn't necessarily have to be steroids. Or there's tons of stuff that make you feel good and move around good that don't necessarily have anything to do with a steroid or an anabolic agent. There's tons of things. And the fact his wife is a model, she's from Brazil, she's German descent. Germans are known for making that shit. They're notorious for it. I mean, what models go to those rejuvenation clinics. I fucking have no doubt he will be. You hate Lee Smith every time. He's just a tough guy, man. He's a tough guy. He made a few good blocks, though, on some runs I saw. I was getting a little annoyed early in the game. I'm not going to lie. I kept seeing Pat DeMarco on the field being split out, and they were doing different things with them. I think they were just kind of just varying up the looks, giving the Jets stuff to think about. Maybe if they wanted to audible into another play, DeMarco kicks back in the fullback, and they just stayed with the spread empty look and just kept throwing the ball, man. And it's the first time I felt like the Bills were trying to play modern day football in a long time. At least till what we saw Josh Allen some of late last year. But even into preseason last year, they were trying some of this stuff with Nathan Peterman, and in the first preseason game against Carolina, they were trying some of these different, just spread them out and throw it philosophy. Yeah, Pat, that those things like that. Okay, Damager. I'm gonna give you that one. There was one that I saw that I felt was a little egregious. I saw Ed Oliver drop back in the coverage, and I was like, okay, I know he's athletic and shit, but no. That's not why you drafted this kid. You drafted this kid to get upfield and get in the face of the quarterback, get the quarterback off his spot. But you know what? Honestly, I felt like once they got in, all they needed to do today was get in Darnold's face and make him stay in the pot. See, what the Bills did is what the Jets defenders said that they wanted to do to Allen. They said the Jets defenders, like, we want to make him play quarterback. Allen played quarterback today. Darnold, when he was forced to stay in the pocket and have to read and decipher things when his checkdowns weren't available, was not a happy camper. He either looked to bail the pocket, or he got sacked, or he tried to throw something that got tipped, or it was intercepted or incomplete. Because he did not like the pressure all in his face, because the second he saw a flash, he went like this. Like, he would have the ball, and then the ball would come down, and he's ready to go. There was one play, to me, the play I liked the most from Allen is he had a rush around him that was everywhere. He stood in there. He slid up just a little bit and threw the one pass that Zay Jones caught. Go back and watch Allen in the pocket, just holding the ball. He knows Jenkins is on his ass. Jenkins, the one linebacker that got the interception off the tip, he knows he's coming. He just slides up in a pocket. I think Ford puts a body on him, knocks him past a little bit, and rifles it right to Zay Jones. Yeah, Oliver looked good. Allen, I was impressed by his poise, the way he was able to calm it down in the second half, and just once the game got stabilized, 3-16, 10-16, and he's like, you know what? I think they all just got on the side like, look, we got this shit. This shit's ours. This shit's coming back to Below with us. We're getting on this plane with a W. You know, that was good. But I'm gonna give everybody a lot of credit. Bills fans, Chris Lids, for coming in like and hanging in there. All of you guys, Damager, Dave, Eric, McBrizzle, Hussein, Jordan, everybody who's in here right now. I just want to go. I wish I had a list of the names. I could just read them off, but I have to scroll back through. Christopher, you're always in here. Bowman, Chris Beckham. I hate when I miss people. I'm sorry about that. But we hung in there today like soldiers with them, man. None of us turned our TVs off. We all got pissed. We all got mad. Bunzolo. Yep, you were one of the CM Banks. We were all pissed. We were all mad. And we're sitting there like, come on, man. Maybe, can we just enjoy one opening Sunday? Can we just enjoy Sunday for once on an opener? Because this is their first win in an opener since 15. And that it'd been a few years. You have 16, 17, 18. You didn't want to go 4 years in a row having a bad taste in your mouth, especially after last year. Yeah, I mean, the all 22, it comes out on Tuesday because the coaches, they get it right away. Like the NFL films this shit. The way it does it, they film two angles. You guys have seen all 22. You've seen you see behind the quarterback, and then you can see behind the defense, and then there's another side. There's a sideways angle, but that's more the telecast. And I like to look at it from behind the defense and because I don't know why, because that's the side of the ball I played on when I was in school. So I always watched film from behind the defense. And if you guys want to watch it in front of it, behind the quarterback, because that's where most people watch it. Like if you see people put up clips of defense, it's always behind the quarterback. And I could tell they've never played defense before because I always watch it from the other view, behind the defense. Yeah, McBrizzle. McBrizzle says after the Giants Cowboys game, he feels better about next week. Eric, I agree 100%. Eric Marino says Singletary needs to have some early. He definitely does, Eric. I agree with you 100%. Oh yeah, Pokemon Trainer. I remembered a lot of opener. My first opener, I've repeated this multiple times, you guys. And my first Bills game was an opener. I didn't know it was an opener. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I just knew I was watching a football game, and the only reason I ended up probably getting it is because the Bills were in Miami. They were playing the Dolphins, and it turned into one of Jim Kelly's most epic moments. You know, it was the last second game-winning touchdown. He actually ran it in, which was something Jim Kelly was not known for. But he scrambled in and won the game, and that was the first game in 1989. So that was my first Bills game that I ever watched, and here I am, 30 years later. Yep, 30 years later today. That's pretty crazy. 30 openers, 30 years as a Bills fan, and it's been great. And I still do, Eric. I need to get to Buffalo and watch a game. It's been, man, I've had control over that situation for a number of years, but I need to do it. Yeah, that was a shitty opener. I remember that. I remember all the openers for being good. And some for being shitty. I mean, there was some in the 90s that were shitty. I remember one opener, the last Super Bowl the Bills went to, it was against the Jets in Buffalo, and they got beat by Boomer Esiason. Johnny Johnson ran on them a little bit that day, and I was just so pissed because they had just lost their last Super Bowl they went to, the Cowboys, and they opened at home in 94, and they lost. That 95 opener against the Broncos, they lost. I believe they won. You know what? They won I want to say they won the 96 opener. I want to say they won that one. Yeah, I mean, Matthew, that was one of the most, I mean, during the drought, during this era we've known as the drought, which is no longer, that's probably one of the most epic wins, was the 31-0 beatdown. That one is one of the best Bills victories ever. Just the way it happened. Lawyer Malloy coming to the team the week before, signing with the Bills. Sam Adams INT return. It was just an epic win for the Bills. Chris Beckham, I went to the 2013 opener against the Pats, and EJ Manuel, Coach Marone. Yep. Wow. I mean, he had he had two touchdowns, I believe, in that game, and they ended up losing. He had the one touchdown to Robert Woods. He might have thrown another one early in that game. I forget. Maybe it was to Stevie, but they ended up losing. Yeah, man, Eric, Pittsburgh they look like trash. Ben doesn't look good at all. They just look like they're throwing the ball up and hoping somebody catches it. But I will say this. You don't think Antonio Brown gave the Patriots every nook and cranny not that they've needed it in the past, every little nook and cranny he knows about the Steelers playbook? It's a win, Corey. A win is a win. There's no stat column for ugly wins, pretty wins, good wins. Wins are wins. Yeah, I agree. I think there was a lot of collusion there. There was some shady backdoor dealings, with because that's what that organization does. I can't ever remember seeing a loss where they look good. If you could find one, Corey, I'll look. I'll look for you. You go looking, Corey, because I know you will. If you find a pretty loss, you tell me. Maybe in a stat sheet. I'm not a stat sheet guy. That I guess that it was weird. I'll confess I was shocked because I'm used to the Bills running the ball. I'm used to that's their offense. Their offense is ball control, just grind it out and maybe keep a little more balance. But if this is the way they feel they need Josh Allen to progress, it's very encouraging because this is the way teams win in the NFL. They run, but ultimately the throwing and the passing game is what unlocks everything and makes you more known, more respectable, more feared as an offense, is what you can do through the air, vertically, big plays. I mean, you see New England tonight. They've hit Pittsburgh with some big plays, and today. I mean, even in yet today's game with the Bills, 6 plays of over 20 yards. Those are explosive plays. The Jets had none, and I saw a quarterback willing to try to make plays and a quarterback that just did not want to try to make those plays. And when he had one good chance, he missed on the throw. Okay, Leotis McKelvin, that was not good. Yeah, I was fine with the throwing. 11 was a nice opener. The 41 against Kansas City. 41 was at 41-10 or something like that. It was a good win. I might bullshit about some Sabres. So that was a good one. 07, that was a nah. I don't. That was a bad one. I think that was a Denver game. They end up losing late. I don't have any fond memories of that game. His carries were huge though. 20 yards up. It seemed like he was every time he touched the ball. I can almost say that I can almost guarantee that he'll probably get a lot more touches next week, especially once they go see the tape. Once they go see that Giants tape of what the Dallas Cowboys did, especially if you go watch the game, if any of you watch the game, a lot of the damage happened with Randall Cobb underneath. And then once they started hitting Cobb underneath, they weren't really hurting him downfield. They got some stuff to Witten and mostly to Randall Cobb. And then I think Gallup hit him a couple of times. But then they just started going crazy to Cooper. Don't remember what year. Oh, that was 15 CM Banks. Yeah, Corey, that's just Corey who he is. Corey wants perfection. Corey wants 158.3 quarterback rating, 300 yards of offense. Corey's the kind of guy, if he throws an incompletion in Madden, he resets the fucking game. I think that's you, Corey. I think if you fuck up at all, if you're just like fuck this, I'm restarting it. It's gotta be perfect. Oh yes, I did, Corey. That's the rocket scientist, though, bro. That's Byron the genius. That's Matt Patricia. That's the rocket scientist, right? That's Bill Belichick's boy. That's Bill Belichick's the protege, like all the other Bill Belichick proteges, like um, O'Brien and all these guys. Is there 2 Monday night games tomorrow, guys? Correct me if it was watchable today. It was very watchable. I thought it was watchable. The game was within. I felt like it was almost unwatchable at one point. There was so many mistakes, but I stayed watching. Yeah, there has to be 2 games tomorrow. Um, it's the Texans versus who? The Texans have to be playing tomorrow. Are they playing? They have to be playing a divisional team. No, they can't be. No, they're not playing. They're not playing a team in their division. So so all right. I know. Then it's Raiders, Denver. Texans, Saints, Raiders, Denver. All right. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, everybody. I was confused because I was trying to think about what Deshaun Watson did today, and I'm like, he didn't play today. So I was trying to go back in the annals and like, did Deshaun Watson play today? And what a terrible game this is, by the way. What a terrible game. That's going to be interesting to see how that. But the reason I was thinking of Texans is Bill O'Brien. To me, he doesn't impress me as a good coach. So these teams that want to continue to try to borrow this Patriots model, they're ridiculous. They're out of their minds. Unless there's Bill and Tom part of that, you're stupid. There's no fucking way. Watson versus Breeze. That's going to be a good game. That's a 7 o'clock start, right? Are they going to try to start it earlier? Because I know MLB does that now. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Major League Baseball starts the games. They used to start the Sunday night games at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, a little after 8. Now they start them at 7. They're playing baseball by 7. I don't think he's coming back, man. He looks so lean. He looks so lean. He's like down to like 100. He's like down to 240. I honestly think he's getting ready to go wrestle. I think he's getting ready to go do some more wrestling stuff soon. He's promoting this CBD oil brand that he has, money in, tied up in. I don't know how ready he would be or isn't. Once once they lost Bill, they just started throwing to him. Name me one successful Belichick. None. None have won. None have really won a Super Bowl. None have won big. Saban, Nick Saban. I just named one. He's just not lifting weights anymore, Corey. Pro football players, when you're playing pro football and you're practicing, like me when I played football, I know I had to eat, like I was eating like a design diet, 7,500, 8,000 calories. And I weighed 30 pounds more than I do now. And when I stopped doing that, there went the weight. Like you just don't have, the calorie intake doesn't facilitate, and you're not working out the same. You don't require as much food, and you just, yeah, Chris, not eating 10. You don't eat that. You don't eat that much food. Look at all these offensive linemen, bro. Go look at Nate Newton. Go look at the center that used to play for the Chargers, Hardwick or Henwick or whatever his name was. They look like different people. They're just completely. They look like little skinny lean guys. And these were NFL offensive linemen. Look at Eric Wood. Look at Eric Wood. The guy weighs like he weighs like 250 now, 260. It's insane. It's insane. When you're playing pro football, man, you're just, your body is completely different. Your metabolism is completely different. Corey, I don't want to talk about the past, man. I'm really happy about today's win. I'm focused on what they're doing right now, and whatever Shady did, Watkins did, good for them. But that has nothing to do with anything to do with the Bills anymore. No, Wood played above 300 pounds. Wood was like Wood was up in like the 310, 15 range. He was a big dude. Adam, just watch that defense today, man. Yeah, Mark Kelso was really good X's and O's guy. I didn't really listen to Eric on the call today. Maybe some of you guys did. He knows a lot of stuff, man. Eric's he looked he knows football as an offensive lineman. Then there's Adrian Peterson, who I think is on gear, especially. He's a sick athlete, man. A lot of these guys, I'll just be honest with you, a lot of them they're just different people, man. Like I'll give you an example. I saw he's not a great player. He's a solid player. He had a 13 sack season in the NFL. That's more than any ball know what it's like to play in the NFL. I saw Marcus Golden in the fucking Walmart over here in Secaucus. The outside linebacker for the Giants was with the I didn't say shit to him, but I knew who he was. And when you see an NFL player, they just look like different people, man. They don't look like your normal people that you see walking around every day. I remember seeing Landon Collins. He did something for some supermarket over here at ShopRite, like some feed the hungry thing or whatever. He's a safety, but he's not a normal dude, man. He's just not built like regular people. No, they were rotating. Hussein, they were just rotating. They were doing it on purpose. It was in and out. It was Ford and Secchi, Ford and Secchi, Ford and Secchi, Ford a couple of series and Secchi. I didn't see Ford kicked inside the guard. I think it was Feliciano most of the game. But NFL players they're just built like different human beings, man. Marcus Golden's a big guy. He's like 6'3", 260, but it's just a rock solid 260, man. This is like, Jesus Christ. If this guy got a hold of me, he's going to throw me across this place. You know, he's the kind of he's chasing around NFL quarterbacks on Sunday. I see all the Jets by Madison's, even in oh, Chris, are you in Jersey, bro? Are you in Jersey, Chris? CM Banks, I'm sorry, not Chris. I got the no, our punter didn't shit the bed. I was very happy. Our punter didn't kill us today. I was waiting for something. I was waiting for Bajorquez to do something horrific. He didn't. Thank God. I was like, whew. But the Jets kicker, oh my God. That kid's gonna get cut tomorrow. That kid is so gonna get cut. I don't Vedvik or whatever his name is. Yeah, I actually think he can punt too. So if the Bills want to upgrade their punter, he might be a better punter than he is a kicker. Yeah, Jet fans do want Carly Lloyd to be their kicker. No, the Bills won. The Bills the game, Corey. Kickers miss kicks. That's on them. No apologies. Chargers punter kicked well today. I didn't see their punter. I know Venetieri killed the Colts today. He missed like 2 field goals and an extra point, and turned out the tying score that they would have went in and won. It They tied it but lost in overtime. That would have been a game winner situation for them. Cut yesterday. I felt for Jet fans on that one. Nah, I was pretty secure. Yeah, it's a fraternity, man. Like positionally, like the NFL, you're a fraternity, but positionally, you're a fraternity too. Like when you're a kicker or a quarterback, if you notice after the game, all the position groups from the opposing teams kind of just go meet. Like unless it's like we played college ball together situation, I've seen that. But generally, the quarterbacks will go, you know, give each other a pound. Offensive linemen, you know the deal. Yeah, and the Bills gift wrap them points. The Bills just gift wrap them points. Like every bounce of the ball went their way. That bullshit safety, that wasn't a fucking safety. You had a guy like in a scenario runs around and just throws it up and gets a fucking that's the flukiest 2 point conversion you'll ever want to see in my life. King has an ego and will command money. I don't understand. I don't know who King is. Oh, you're getting 4 points. Anyway, oh, you're talking about Ryan Allen? Oh, Marquez King is just not. He's not a great punter at all, man. He's just not a great punter. I'm sorry, I didn't know who you were talking about there for a second. I was a little lost. You were talking about Marquez King, the former Raiders punter. That was some bullshit. Yeah, that was bullshit, Corey. Yeah, that was I'm sorry, Sam Banks. That was bullshit. I've seen way more guys have a way worse position. He was out of the end zone, clear with the ball, and I that's what I saw. Like that was just a ridiculous fucking, and that was it. I wonder if the Steelers even they look like they're so confused every time they play the Patriots. They just look so confused. Ben looks confused. Oh, they can't afford to lose him. Marcus Cannon's down, holding his arm. Their offensive line is in a bad way already. They're like, fuck it. I don't know why it doesn't show the curses in the chat. Thanks for everybody who's in here right now. 29 people. I really appreciate it. It turned out to be a really good Sunday. For the first hour and a half, 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours was really, really shitty. But the Bills were able to rebound, respond. Anybody can win anywhere, man. Anybody can win anywhere. They just look mentally beaten. They just really do look mentally beaten. Every time I see them, they just look like they have no confidence. They have zero confidence in anything they do when they play that team. I'm still trying to field goal or going for a field goal down 20. Oh, you're trying to figure out why they went. Yeah, that made no sense. I mean, that's a bad situation. I was reading an article that a bunch of players don't want to be around what's going on down there, and they want out. They call their agents and want out. They just want to. They just want to be gone. Yeah, that's a tough. They're in a tough spot, man. Like I said earlier, I don't. You got to believe Antonio Brown gave them every ounce of what he knows about that team's playbook, about their checks, their calls, any type of adjustments they do. Are you talking about Larry Fitzgerald? Yeah, because he's an amazing player. It sucks to see him because this is probably his last year, but he still could play really, really good, man. That guy made some crazy plays at the end of that Arizona game. I'll give him that. Guy is as class act as there is in this league. So, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, he's a nice guy. What are you gonna do? He's a journeyman quarterback. If he wants to be in the league and back up somewhere, journeyman it up, he will. I mean, he could. He's still. I think he's like 3-4 years younger than Josh McCown, who's still kicking in the league, making $3-4 million just for. Fitz likes to play though. He's a competitor. I'll give him that. He's all balls, man. He's an easy guy to root for. He's just not talented enough to be a full-time quarterback. Yeah, I don't know why they have anybody out in this game worth the shit. There's no reason anybody of any value to New England should be playing right now. But that's on them if they want to just keep going. They can. It had to have been Marcus Cannon who got hurt. I'm pretty sure it was, but guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. It was a really crazy game today, as we all know, ups and downs, ebbs and flows, lots of whole gamut of emotions. But for them to come back and win that game and just show the resiliency and toughness and not fold, not give up any more points. The defense did what they had to do, and then the offense got rolling in the second half and threw 17 up on the scoreboard. That was a big win. CM Banks, Hussein, Victor, thank you. Corey, thank you. Eric, Damager, CM, all you guys, man. I wish I had the whole list. Everybody in. Chris Lentz, Jordan Clark. Damn, so many. RML 1784. I just want to keep going. And Matthew, seen your name a bunch of times. Bonzolo. Real names, like I'm better with the handles. Like I'm, Vicious Sid, Vicious 155, Mark, asshole, whatever you want to call me. Pokemon, you're in here a lot. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And have a great night. Go Bills. Fun week now. Get to enjoy the next few days and to start thinking about next Sunday, because that's the rule. We get 48 hours to enjoy the win. The team gets 24 hours and they have to move on. We get an extra day. We get 48 hours. I'm here in North New Jersey. I got to deal with a lot of Jets fans, and it feels good to be able to have a little bit of shit talk on those Jet fans, just a little bit. 4 turnovers, and he's still going to win the game. And our young quarterback looked better than theirs. That's the truth. Go Bills. Love you guys. Thank you, each and every one of you, for taking your time to come in here and chat. I really, really appreciate it. Always, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys.